Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So today I'm going to take 3 of my all-time favorite quick and easy earring projects and I've put them all into one video. I think you guys are going to like this one. They're all super easy projects. Even if you don't know how to make jewelry, you can whip these up in no time. As always, there will be kits available and I'll put the links below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do so, and please make sure to comment and to like the video and just generally hang around because I think you guys are going to have a great time. So if you want to see what I'm making today, come and join me. So to put together the quickest pair of earrings you've ever seen, the only tool I'm going to be needing today are my chain nose pliers. I'm also going to be using GS Hypo cement. You want to make sure that you're using the right glue in this project. You either want to use GS Hypo or E6000. You don't want to use any of the crystalline type of glues, like crazy glues, that sort of stuff, because they off-gas and they will cloud over your Swarovski crystals. So we have a couple beautiful 12mm Swarovski Rivolis. We also have the bezel holders that they go into. We've got some ear wires, some snap-on bails, and some little decorative rings. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is place a little bit of glue inside my little bezel frames here. And I don't want to put too much because then it squishes all over the side. So I just put a little bit in there. Now I'm going to take my little crystals and I'm just going to drop them straight down. I just want to make sure that they don't get any glue, so I find if you just drop them straight down, they will set up nicely. And sometimes I'll just take my fingers and just kind of push them down a little bit and hold them for about 10 seconds. Okay, so now I am going to take one of my little snap-on bails. So now you can see that these have like a front to them and a back to them. So we're going to be making sure that we're aware of where the backs and the fronts are. And this one I'm going to place through my little decorative ring, and you might need to open it up a little bit. You can use your chain nose pliers, but you just want to make sure that you're not leaving any marks on them. So I'm just going to open that up a little bit and I'm going to pop that little ring through there, and that ring's going to go up like that. And then I'm going to take my little Rivoli that I just put together, and then I'm just going to push this shut. So if you do have a pair of the nylon jaw pliers, that might work better so that you are guaranteed that you don't get any little marks on here. But I'm usually pretty good, but you can see that I have to hold on to like 3 things at one time. So I just am very, very careful, and I don't squish very hard. You just have to gently push, because all you're trying to do is close that up so that it doesn't fall through there, and it's really soft so it goes in there easily. And then all I have to do is pop on a pair of ear wires and close that up. So there you go. There's our quick and easy Swarovski earrings. So I have these large oval silver rings, and I have some smaller oval rings, a pair of ear wires, a pair of cute little hearts, and some jump rings. And as far as tools, we're just going to be using a pair of bent chain nose pliers and our chain nose pliers. So we're going to take our jump ring and we're going to place our pliers on one side, and I'm going to have the slit up at the top. And I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers on the other side, and I'm just going to bend apart. Now you never want to bend that way because it'll break the neck. And you don't want to overbend because it gets it a little bit hard to go back into the round circle. So I'm going to pick up one of the hearts and I'm going to place it on the ring. And I'm going to give that a little twist. So you go back until you can kind of feel it sort of click in. You just kind of have to wiggle a little bit. Now I'm going to take my ear wire and I'm just going to open that up, kind of like opening a jump ring. I'm just going to bend it towards me. And now I'm going to place on my ring and then my other ring, and then I'm going to do that up. There you go. There's the cutest little pair of earrings whipped up in literally about 30 seconds. Now it is hard to show you when they're laying flat. They don't always have that movement that earrings need, but when they're on, they've got that cute little oval in the middle, and so it gives it a lot of movement, and they just look really sweet on. I think you're going to really like these ones. They're going to be a classic, something you can wear with everything, and I don't think they're ever really going to go out of style. Alright, so to make these beaded earrings, we're going to be using these components from Tiara Cast. I have some 8/0 Mayuki seed beads, some ear wires, some little tube crimps. I've got some hex nuts and a couple pieces of our dagger. These are really pretty. It's hard to see on the camera, I think, but they're a beautiful sort of opaly blue with a bit of a bronze cast. And I'm also going to be using some medium soft flex. And for tools, I'm just going to be using a pair of sharp cutters and a pair of chain nose pliers. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut myself a piece of soft flex. So I am going to pop one of the little daggers on the, and I'm just going to sort of run it in the middle. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to create my pattern. And my pattern is 2 of the 8/0 seed beads and 1 of the hex nuts. And then another 2 of the seed beads and a hex nut, and then 2 more seed beads. So these are super simple basic earrings, but they turn out really cute. Now I'm going to take my earring, and you can decide which side you want it on. Really, these are reversible. See how there's 2 different sides on these? So you can really kind of do whatever you like. So I'm going to run that soft flex through one side of it, and now I'm going to put on a seed bead. And I'm also going to put on a little crimp tube and then another seed bead. All right, so now I'm going to pull this back, and you have to be careful that you don't pull it back so far that these beads pop out, but I'm just going to run it through the end there, so you sort of have to pull back on it. Now I'm going to repeat the pattern on the other side. So 2 seed beads and a hex nut, 2 seed beads and a hex nut, and 2 seed beads. Okay, so now I've got my pattern on there. So I'm going to take my right hand piece and I'm going to come through the end here. So I've got my soft flex coming out one side, but now I'm going to double back and go through it. So you're going through twice. And sometimes it can be a little finicky to get that through. If your soft flex has a bit of a blunt end on it, you might want to try cutting it on a bit of an angle. So basically what we're doing is like that. So it doesn't have to be centered or anything, but what I'm going to do is pull that through. And so now we've created a little loop. So I want to pull it nice and snug. And then I want to come in with my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to carefully come in and I'm going to crimp this down. Now normally I don't like to crimp like this. I always like to use a pair of crimp pliers, but you don't really need to on here because there's no weight on this. So we're just going to find the center of that and smush it down. And you want to be careful that you don't get too close to your beads because you don't want to crack your beads. And now we've got to take our cutters. Now you've got to have a good pair of cutters, something that are nice and sharp, otherwise you're going to end up with little chunks sticking out there. So I want to get in there. These are not very good, but they're about the best I've got. So I'm just going to snip that off. And I'm just going to come up here and there, get that one. Whoop, that one flew away. All right, so now you can see that I've got a little piece sticking out there and I don't really like that. So I'm going to isolate that. See if you can see that. I'm going to isolate that and come in with my cutters and give that another good trim. There we go, that's better. I just don't want any little ends showing. So now the last part of it is I'm just going to take my ear wire and I'm going to run it through there and close that up. So there you go, there's our cute little earrings. Those ones are super simple to whip up. They're adorable on, and these color combinations look really great.